Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome. I am your little darling narrator, and on this channel, I read stories. Not just any stories, but I think I read some really great stories for the young readers. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, I strongly recommend you go ahead and you subscribe, because all we do here are read good stories for the young readers. And if there's any story that you like, don't forget, hit that like button. That just helps this channel, and we appreciate all the support that we've been getting. So stay tuned. The name of this story is called Franklin's Canoe Trip. Franklin had been on bus trips with his class and bicycling trips with his friends. He had gone on long car trips with his family. Today, Franklin was going on a canoe trip with his best friend Bear and their fathers. Franklin could hardly wait. He wanted to be just like the explorers he had learned about in school. It was a long drive to Spruce Lake. "When are we going to get there?" asked Franklin. "I can't wait to explore," said Bear. "Maybe we'll discover a whole new country," Franklin added. Their fathers warned them that canoe trips were hard work. "We don't mind," said Franklin. At last, they arrived at the lake. Franklin and Bear jumped out of the car and ran to the shore. Bear's father pointed to a big motorboat. "That sure is a beautiful boat," he said. Everyone agreed. "But it's not for explorers," said Franklin. "Explorers need canoes." Franklin's father pushed the canoe into the water. Franklin and Bear jumped in. "Wait!" shouted Bear's father. But he was too late. The canoe tipped over, and Franklin and Bear were dumped out. Franklin's father chuckled. "First lesson about a canoe is how to get in," he said. Right side up, Franklin and Bear sat between their fathers, paddles in hand. At first, they kept splashing each other, but they soon figured out the rhythm and were skimming across the water. "This is fun," said Bear. Franklin waved to a motorboat. "Let's race," he called. Everyone laughed. When they reached the far side of Spruce Lake, Franklin's father got out the map. Franklin and Bear got out lunch. "Let's take a shortcut and portage to Gull Lake," said Bear's father. "What's portage?" asked Bear. His father explained that instead of paddling all the way around the lake, they would carry the canoe overland. "Just like real explorers," declared Franklin. Franklin and Bear led the way. They sang songs and stopped to pick up rocks and pine cones. Then the sun got hotter and hotter, and their backpacks felt heavier and heavier. Before long, Franklin and Bear were trailing behind their fathers. "Would we have to portage if we had a motorboat?" asked Franklin. "No," answered his father. "We could get where we're going in 2 hours in a motorboat. We'd need 2 days to take the long way in a canoe." "I wish we had a motorboat," Franklin grumbled. Finally, they reached the shore of Gull Lake. It was rocky and swampy and swarming with mosquitoes. Franklin and Bear were disappointed. "Is this it?" asked Franklin. His father laughed. "No," he said. "We still have to canoe to Sandy Inlet." "It's a beautiful desert beach," added Bear's father. "You can do lots of exploring there." Franklin and Bear cheered up. Halfway across Gull Lake, Franklin put down his paddle. "My arms hurt," he said, "and I'm tired." "Me too," said Bear. "Explorers can't get tired," joked Franklin's father. "Real explorers pad for days without stopping." Franklin sighed. A motorboat zoomed by, and Franklin sighed again. By the time they arrived at Sandy Inlet, Franklin and Bear were slumped in the bottom of the canoe. Several boats were moored in the water, and lots of tents were pitched along the shore. "Oh no," exclaimed Franklin's father. "It's too crowded to explore," groaned Franklin. "Come on, Franklin," said Bear. "It's up to us explorers to find a campsite." Franklin and Bear walked down the beach. Then they climbed the hill at the far end. And there, in the distance, Franklin saw a teeny perfect cove with not a boat or tent in sight. Franklin and Bear ran all the way back and told their fathers about their discovery. "That's another half hour of paddling," said Franklin's father. "I thought you two were tired." "Tired?" exclaimed Franklin. "Explorers can't get tired." They paddled with all their might. Soon the canoe nudged up on a sandbar. Everyone got out to heave it across and into the cove. "Now I'm glad we don't have a motorboat," declared Franklin. "Only canoes can get over this sandbar." Franklin and Bear helped set up camp, and then they explored the beach. They drew a map and named everything they found. "Let's call this Bear's Lagoon," said Franklin. "And this is Franklin's Shore," decided Bear. Soon it was dark. The fire was crackling and fish were frying. Everyone went for a moonlight swim, and they all ate supper, listening to the loons. "There's just one thing left to explore," said Franklin. And with a big yawn, he crawled into his sleeping bag. Well, that ends our story. Franklin and his best friend Bear got a chance to go on a field trip with their dads, canoeing on the lake. Now, Franklin was looking forward to exploring with Bear. They found out the trip was a little more work than they expected. Remember, they fell asleep in the canoe after some paddling. Now, they also was disappointed when they did finally reach their location they were trying to get to, when they saw all the boats and tents already there. But they had a great all's well that ends well situation when Franklin and Bear decided to be the explorers they want to be and take a hike looking around for a place they can camp, and actually found one. So that ended really well for them, and for us as well. So until next time, my young readers, I am your little darling narrator, out.